Step 1, wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Oh my gosh. I was like, what is that sound? But you guys can't hear it. It was an autoplay of one of our stories this morning. I was like, oh my God, is somebody getting murdered? Good morning, Deacon.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, sir. I certainly
Does it
can.
sound okay? I mean, does it sound like through this microphone?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I think so. It sometimes it sounds a little more rich.
Like what about right here?
Oh yeah, no, that's bad.
Well, my Adobe Audition program that I use for everything all the time has got like Adobe is one of these you don't buy a program anymore like we used to. You know, you buy the program, you get the disc, you have the program. You don't do that
You get to
anymore.
rent it now.
You rent it, basically. Yeah, you rent the program. So I rent this every year. It costs like $300 something a year to rent this program. And it auto updates, I guess, because I went over to my freaking taskbar and hit my freaking Adobe Audition this morning to open it up. And it's like this shortcut goes to something that's not there. And I'm like, dude, the fuck what? That's what now at 6 o'clock this morning after I've puked my brains out 3 times this morning. I'm like, okay, great. So I end up finding that it had updated. It gave it a new freaking icon in a new spot. So my shortcut doesn't even go to the, what the hell, man? It's in the middle of the night.
How about at least a pop-up that says, hey, by the way, we just screwed up your whole system.
No shit, because I opened it and my settings are changed in the freaking audio program that I use every day. Yeah. My settings are changed, my personal settings. I would rather somebody come in and just throw the fucking machine out and have to start all over again than to figure out which settings had been changed. You know?
Yeah, because You probably tuned everything to get everything exactly
My
right.
personal settings that I have done this program for 30 years.
Is
So
there any
thank
way
God
to
I know
export
'em.
that, and just save your settings out as like a preferences file or something like that?
Not that I know of with
Why would
this
you even think of
program,
that,
but
right? You would be like, "Oh, I told
yeah.
this program to do what I wanted, and now it's going to do what I want, unless it decides not to."
So it's been a little crazy morning. And the reason I ask you that, the reason I got into all that is because when I plugged in my microphone a second ago, it popped up a new window. It's like, hey, you got audio recording devices that are coming in. I'm like, I don't want the fucking microphone to be an audio recording device. It sucks.
Yeah.
So I had to get in here and change it. And that's what I was doing. I was making sure that it still says, it still said deep tech webcam.
So
No.
on top of your tech, on top of your normal like medical like issues, you get an extra challenging tech morning.
Yeah, so far.
You're just leveling up. That's all. You got a little bit
what I'm doing?
higher challenge level.
Okay.
When you get through this thing, it'll be more satisfying. You'll be like, yeah, I beat that boss.
I'll be more satisfied. Sweet. I can't wait for
tired.
that.
You might be more tired and exhausted. Depends. It depends on how you look at it. Good morning, everybody. I am JJW, and that is Deacon way over there on the other side of the thing. I moved my camera around. I lowered my desk because my mouse keeps sliding off my desk. My desk is set up for me to draw, but I lowered it for this show. And then I decided to move my camera around because I always kind of feel like I was looking up a little bit. So, and I moved it again. Anyway, Deacon.
Yeah.
I have got an agenda of things. We can deviate. I don't really care. But I want you to
deviate if I have to run to the freaking bathroom.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, like, how can I start this show? Because like, a couple of different things I want to talk about. They don't necessarily like match up in terms of like thematically from one to one. But I really wanted to start with this first couple of stories because yesterday in the Discord server for the show, which you can get to by going to our locals feed, somebody said, I think it was Roland. So if Roland's here, big shout out to Roland. Roland is a guy that, he's a solid dude. He's a dad. I think he's got like 3 or 4 kids.
He's played MCOC for a long time. He's been in our server for a long time.
Yeah, and he actually was in my alliance like many years ago, and then a lot of the guys that drifted away from me because I'm not a reliable employer. they went over to his alliances, whatever. He's an awesome dude. He's an awesome dad. I want to have him on to talk about his son because he has certain challenges that maybe like some others wouldn't have. But he said either him or someone else said that we were building dad culture over here.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but I'm down with it. Yes, we're building dad culture over here.
I like that.
So, hello, it's Mrs. JJW. You can say good morning to our audience of some. We don't know who they are.
Good morning.
Welcome everybody. And
hi, Deacon.
Hey. All right. So I want to start off this show like as high tea as possible. Are you ready for this?
I don't know what that means, but I'm ready.
I know you don't know. Okay. We got audio. Let's go. I saw this. I got 2 different stories and they were like the same thing. I don't think they're related. But this one was like nuts. So here we go.
I saw this.
Homeboy is fighting a bear with his fist. Kick that bear in the face. You don't let a bear eat you. Kick that son of a gun. Oh, it's going to come back up here and eat you again? No. Get out of here, bear. All right. That is some like...
Can I point out something?
That dude has never been more alive in his life.
Can I point out something? I'm not one to go like rock climbing and hiking and stuff like that guy. I just don't do that. I have never once been attacked by a bear sitting on my couch watching Netflix. I'm just making a point. I'm just pointing out facts, people. I have never once in my lifetime been attacked by a bear sitting on my couch playing PlayStation. Never. Not well. I take that back. I have been attacked by a bear sitting on my couch playing PlayStation because I love Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, okay.
So I've been attacked by a bear, so I take that back.
You and my brother share that affection for that.
Oh my God,
game.
you and your brother share something in common.
I know.
I think me and your brother probably share a lot in common. We just
probably do.
Your brother is very much like a friend. Hey. No. I'm not going to say anything bad about him. I think this is actually very good about your brother. I think he's very much like a longtime friend of mine. His name, my buddy's name, I'm not going to say his name, but he was a longtime buddy. Married, has a kid now. He's probably chilled out. But my buddy, me and him, we had a lot in common. But the shit that we did not have in common, we were complete opposites, and we just always was mouthing to each other about something.
That might be the case.
And I respect your brother, even though I've mouthed off to him 2 or 3 times. I have the utmost respect for him, but in the same way as my friend, and with you, me and you do stuff. I do stuff to piss you off.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. It's
a lot of times I'm like, oh, this is an idea that I have, and I'll just go with it, and it like disrupts everybody else, and I'm just like, oh, you guys are upset.
Oh well.
But I'm leaning into this idea. I think this is going to be neat for a minute, and then sometimes I'm like, man, that wasn't a great idea. But you got to experiment. Okay, so that is some, I don't know.
That's crazy. I saw that video, but I guess he done the right thing that you're supposed to do is like be loud, and he was in a very advantageous spot, right there on those rocks.
I mean, he was at least uphill, and he could grab a rock or throw that
bear screwed up by going downhill.
He lost the tactical advantage.
Yeah, he did.
Right. Well, let me tell you what. That's not the only bear attack story from this morning.
What?
That's just the one that I knew you had seen. Yeah.
All right.
So I got something else here. Let's see. Let me do this one in window. Like, is it this way? I think it's this way because that way I can share. From Breitbart News, a college wrestler saves friend from grizzly bear attack in Wyoming. I owe him everything. Now, I don't know if this is the same guy. I'm assuming it's not. I'm just assuming that there's 2 different bear attack stories in the same day or 2, but it could be the same story. I don't know. But this is a crazy story because these guys are, one of these guys literally saved the other one's life from a bear. This is the most man shit I have ever heard.
No shit.
College wrestler. I'm gonna read some of the story here.
Yeah.
College wrestler is thankful to be alive after his teammate fended off a grizzly bear that was attacking him. Kendall Cummings and Brad Lowry were both sophomore students and wrestlers at Northwest College.
20 years old. 21 years old.
Yeah, it's children. These are children.
Yeah,
no, they're not. They're men. They're 20, 21 years old.
No,
they're men.
Yeah, they're men if they fought off a fucking bear.
More man than me ever. In my whole life, I never faced a bear.
Me too.
They were antler hunting and fishing south of Cody, Wyoming, and Shoshone National Forest on Saturday. They were joined by 2 other teammates, but they got separated. So there's 4 of these guys out in the woods or wilderness, and they got separated. They were walking down a trail, walking down a mountain they had like 5 or 6 antlers. I guess collecting antlers is like super fun or something. I don't know. And a giant grizzly bear attacked Lowry without warning. They had brought bear spray and a revolver for the trip, but they didn't even have time to pull that out and deploy it. Cummings immediately tried to stop the mauling by throwing objects and yelling at the bear, but the bear was like, whatever, this is a dinner. And then he decided he yanked the bear's ear. He reached up and pulled the bear's ear, and the bear was like, okay, hold on now. I'm eating something, and something grabbed my ear. I'm not happy about that, which got the bear off of his friend, and then the bear attacked him. Okay? Of course it did. So the bear knocked Cummings to the ground, and then it put its mouth on his skull. It had his jaws around his skull. And at that moment, Cummings was like, oh, this is where I messed up and I'm about to die. Then the bear, I guess the bear was like, that skull's a little hard. I'm not sure what's going on here. So the bear backed off and started walking away. Cummings stood up and called out for Lowry, fearing the bear might attack his friend again. You know, he's got like teeth marks. He's bleeding from his skull probably. And then the grizzly was like, oh, right, I was hungry. And it turns around, it comes after him again. He initially tried fighting back before realizing he was outmatched by the animal. And finally, the bear like gave up, too much trouble, and left. So they both started to make their way back to the Bobcat Julian Trail, whatever. And they were injured, and they just kept walking because of adrenaline rushing their bodies. So like they had just survived a bear mauling, and they were pumped up. But you know that stuff wears off, and you better get to safety or rescue quick, because once you have an adrenaline crash, you are like you're going to be totally depleted. And here you can see a picture of these guys in the hospital. Look at these. These are heroes, man. These are heroes. They fought a bear to save each other's lives. Amazing. If that's not inspiring to you, I don't know what is inspiring.
Inspiring? What does that inspire me to do? Not go to the fucking woods is what that inspires me to do.
Well, that's true. That's true. But if you find yourself in the woods, you know, and your friend is like attacked by a bear, a real friend puts his own life in danger to get you out of danger.
It's admirable. I mean, it's really awesome that they did that and fought off the bear and tried to save each other. But honestly, I hate to be this guy that points out this is just who I am. I'm the devil's advocate. I've always been the devil's advocate since I was little. The only reason they are alive, in my opinion, is because the bear turned around and walked the fucking way.
Well, yeah.
That's the only reason we're having this.
You know what? But if they didn't fight,
bear, they really didn't. I mean, they fought a bear, but the bear gave up because that bear could have killed both of them probably pretty easily.
Well, that's what happens in any fight. Either somebody gets knocked out or dies or gives up.
Good point.
It's all fights.
Good point.
Yeah. I mean, look at this dude right here. This must be. I think.
So I'll shut up.
Yeah. I think this is Cummings or whatever. You can see he's got stitches on his head or whatever. The bear had his face in its mouth, dude. He's always going to have an amazing story.
Right. I'll shut the fuck up. I need to shut the fuck up because they do it. Yeah, they fought off a bear. Right. He had a bear's head in his mouth. The bear,
There's really no criticism here.
Yeah, don't criticize Deek. Shut the fuck up. They fought off a bear. Okay, I'll learn my lesson. I'll be putting.
All right. So I just thought that was like the best. Awesome. Good morning, Mr. E. Good morning, Jeremy. Oh, we got 5 people right now on the lesser versions of the show, and then let's see, what do we got on? I don't know what we have on Rumble. So we got some people on Rumble too.
Have you ever had that? Dad? I don't know what to call it. That dad intuition, instinct, pop out with your girls yet over something? You know,
I'm not sure.
And you're just kind of like that dad instinct's just kind of like, whoa, you know, I need to do this. Or
Have I taught? I kind of want to answer your question. I don't know what you mean exactly by dad instinct, but I'm gonna divert a little bit. Have you ever taken the Briggs-Meyer personality test? No. You know, it's the one where you get like 4 letters: INTP, ISTP, whatever. Maybe not. My results are consistent every time I take the test, and I am like 60-70% in each of these categories. And then I forgot my letters, but one of them is intuitive. So I have fairly strong intuitive or perceptive. I think it is. I think they call it perceptive. I have a.
Go ahead.
Oh, I have a. Hey, hello, Wobbly Bits. Good morning over in Rumble. I have a fairly high perceptive score, and in my life that works out to be like I usually have a very good sense within like a minute of meeting anybody I don't know if I'm profiling or what, but I usually have a very good sense within a minute of meeting anybody and talking to them whether or not they are a liar or authentic or fronting or concealing something or being
That's just
being honest.
Yeah, I always said that too, but I always called it my gut feeling. I didn't use a test or anything, but I always
No,
like,
it's not, I mean,
my
I'm
gut
just
is almost always right about people.
right.
Always right.
So there's, I was going to talk about these on a different day. This personality, I should get you to take it sometime. It's a personality test. And the reason why it's interesting is that there's these 4 categories that you kind of go one way or the other on these things. And so there's a matrix of 16 possible combinations of personality types, and they're not evenly distributed. There's more of some kind than others, but you would have whatever personality type you have, and then your wife or your girl Ashley. I don't know if you guys are married. I assume you are married. Your girl Ashley would have a different personality type, and then there's a matrix of compatibility. And it turns out that my wife and I fall into one of these compatibilities that's an ideal, which is like some of them are like, oh, you made a mistake, and some of them are like, this will work out, and some of them are like, and there's a couple of combinations that are like, yeah, you got lucky in life. So I refer to my wife as blue square. Yeah, you should. It's so fun. Yeah. It's fun.
I'm not
illuminative.
That's not anything that I meant, but we've already jumped like 4 columns, so it would be.
Well, I was only saying
what I was really talking about,
perception wise.
Oh,
I was just talking about intuition.
Right.
Intuition.
No, I meant like the dad feeling that you get. I didn't have the dad feeling before I had kids, and now I have the dad feeling, like a dad intuition about your kids and shit like that. It's just like I don't know. It really is kind of hard to explain.
So by that I mean, what do you mean by dad?
It's hard to explain.
Is it in relation from your kids to someone else or
whatever? It could be anything.
Yeah, just anything.
Yeah, with your kids. It's just like an ingrown little, it's like an internal little light switch that flipped on when I had kids that was never there before. I am always like, if you have like gut feelings like that, you should attend to that, because we've gone so far away from my initial meaning that this has no.
Yeah.
So go ahead. It's all right. And we can go to stories. We're almost halfway done with the program this morning. We hadn't even started.
Are we really? Oh my God. All right. Well, I attend to that. Defer to that kind of feeling, because that could be like, maybe it's your spirit, or maybe it's your brain subconsciously parsing data that you're too stupid to realize is there and arriving at the same information, like something's wrong. So attend to that. Maybe you'll explain that in a better way later.
It's just a parent intuition, like a dad intuition. I think like Reddit does like this little. There's a subreddit called like dad reflexes, where you'll see these dads that just boom, and they have these dad flexes that are dad reflexes for these kids. Right. That it's a real interesting little thing. It's like parents have these little with your kids. You have these little I don't know. I just feel a certain way with my kids that I don't feel, when my kids are out or something like that. And I think that it's just a weird little feeling. Their parents.
So Mr. E just called it spider sense.
Spider sense. That's perfect. They're my parent sense, like parent spider senses. They're just like, oh, there's danger over here. Come on, we're going this way.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we will return to this subject in the future, because
I was just we
got to doubt about stuff. Okay. I know you've been really worried about this, about his situation, because you're deeply empathic, especially for celebrities, Deacon. It turns out that Ezra Miller has pled not guilty to the Vermont felony burglary charges. Obviously, we're very concerned about Ezra Miller and his mental health. And, if he marries the spider goddess, he could invoke the apocalypse. So that's very concerning.
We've lived through 3 or 4 apocalypses. So if he marries the spider goddess, that'll be okay.
No? Yeah. He appeared before a Vermont State Superior Court judge on Monday morning, and he was charged with 1 count of burglary into an occupied building and 1 count of petty larceny, $900 or less. And he faces, as a consequence for this, 26 years in prison and over $2,000 in fines. Now, I don't think he's going to get either of those things.
26 years in prison and $2,000 in fines.
Doesn't that seem that seems asymmetrical, right? It doesn't seem
a little off fucking balance. Is that supposed to be 26 days in prison and $2,000 in fines?
It says years right there. This is per deadline. Is deadline
$200,000 in fines or
right? Well,
I mean, 26
I think he stole like a bottle of wine or something.
Well, I guess wine can be pretty expensive. I seen a $40,000 bottle of bourbon the other day.
Yeah, well. So they as a result of the investigation, they had surveillance videos and statements. Probable cause was found to charge Ezra Miller with the offense of felony burglary into an unoccupied dwelling. So he went into somebody's house that wasn't there.
Why does anyone still care about this person? I had
I'll tell you what,
clue who he was before you introduced him to me on this fucking show. I couldn't.
Well, did you watch the Superman movies?
No, I'm not gonna watch that shit. It's a waste of my fucking time. I'm not watching this. I did not know he was the Flash. I would have lost that trivia question. Who played the Flash? I would have been like fucking the guy.
This dude is obviously mentally ill and bonkers.
We have established that this fucking guy is bonkers. But you know what? That's not fucking news to me because 99% of the people that are on television in Hollywood are fucking batshit crazy. All right.
Yeah,
so
that's not wrong. That's true.
They're all fucking nuts. And we give them money and tell them how awesome they are. So they keep fucking acting like nuts.
Because we need people to be entertaining.
Because we are fucking idiots. Because we fucking gawk at a woman walking out in a fucking meat dress and a Kermit the Frog dress that we gawk so much that it makes her do other crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using Gaga as an example. But we perpetrate this fucking craziness out of these celebrities and we tell them it's okay because we watch them and give them attention. So, they're going to keep acting like fucking this, walking into houses like he did and doing whatever he wants. And like James Corden did yesterday in that story at that restaurant, thinking he can do and they can say whatever they want to people whenever they want to because they're famous.
Yeah.
You know?
So the only reason why this matters at all is because Warner Brothers has a movie basically in the can and totally edited, waiting to be released, called The Flash.
Yeah.
And The Flash is, it's totally paid for, except for some marketing, but it's like already ready to go. It's going to be deployed to market. This guy is the star. He's a total lunatic. I'm pointing the wrong way. I'm looking at the wrong thing. But Warner Brothers needs that movie to make money because Warner Brothers has something like $50 billion in debt from their acquisition of like the CW and DC, and these things got to make some money. So they can't really afford for this dude to be like repelling the public. Anyway,
I guess that's a good point. That's a good point. Why he's still in the news is because he's costing them a lot of money.
Yeah, he's going to cost them a lot of money. Okay, well, and also I'm very concerned about the onset of the apocalypse. So, Ezra, don't marry the spider goddess. Please.
I'm not so upset about the apocalypse. I personally have lived through like 7 end of the world scenarios in the last 20 years. Just in the last 23 years, I've lived through like 7 end of the world scenarios. So I'm good. I think I can make it.
I don't know if I've lived through any apocalypses myself. I'm gonna think about it.
Yeah. Y2K. You lived past 2012. You've lived past SARS. You've lived past. I can sit here and think for a second and make a list of every apocalypse.
Hey, during the bird flu, my wife and I got on a cruise ship, and then in the middle of the cruise ship, they were like, "Oh, bird flu. We're gonna have to reroute the cruise ship." And instead of going to Western Caribbean, we went to the Eastern Caribbean. It was awesome, and I met the guy that made Yoda. What? Okay.
Hey, speaking of bird flu, real quick, I know you probably haven't seen this, but I'll mention this real quick because good thoughts for these people. Pray or whatever you do. Have you seen the little woman who has the emu named Emmanuel? Who the emu's like in front of the screen? She's like, she's trying to do something and he walks in front of the screen.
Yes, I have seen that. It's been about a month. And that thing is always like
she's
being
hilarious.
a camera hog.
They have this farm down in Florida. I believe it's in Florida, and her and her partner, and they're called Knuckle Bump Farms, and they rescue animals that don't have anywhere else to go, that are going to die and stuff like that. So they have all kinds of animals on this farm, and I follow them, and they're just wonderful, wonderful people. And they got hit bad from some wild geese, from what I understand, some wild geese that came into their farm, and they've lost almost every freaking bird from the bird avian flu that's come through their farm. And Emmanuel is very sick. They have been trying to keep him alive so much. And I'll go to Twitter and check her stuff every day. And Emmanuel's doing a lot better, but they had even reached out to the Irwins, and Bendy Irwin messaged her back and was like giving her, I guess they gave her tips on people that were emu specialists that she knew. And she's been in contact with all these emu specialists. So it was just funny that the Emmanuel's things always made me laugh, and it was cute. And I
have seen that before independently. Like, we've never talked about that before, but I've seen that. And actually, it was like on YouTube Shorts or something like that. And it would be like one of these videos popped up, and I'd be like, oh, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because she's fighting with her emu.
Yeah. And she'll be like, why do you wake up and choose to make these decisions every day? She
talks to it like it's a person making bad choices.
Yeah, it's so funny. So, good thoughts, prayers, whatever you do, good vibes, however you do that, send those to those people down there, because I'm a big animal lover. I like animals more than people most of the time. Most of the time.
You like people.
I like people, but most of the time I don't.
All right. Hey, I know somebody you like. And you're so excited.
You say Nancy Pelosi, I'm going to smack you across the face.
No, I'm working up toward it.
Oh.
I'm still trying to figure out if I can get a zombie segue to get to Nancy Pelosi. Yeah. So I'm sure Deacon is very excited about Harrison Voight. John Voight for some reason. Harrison Ford is joining Marvel, and he's replacing another actor. Harrison Ford is joining Marvel, the MCU, to play the character of Thunderbolt Ross, replacing the legendary William Hurt, who passed away a few years ago. Maybe this year. Did he pass away this last year? Harrison Ford is, this doesn't make any sense to me. Harrison Ford is like about 100 million years old. He's like super old. He talks like mumble. Harrison Ford is rumored to be retiring from movies after he's set to portray Indiana Jones in Indiana Jones 5, The Temple of Nobody Wants to Watch, the sequel to the Crystal Skull, which is releasing in June of next year. However, we can report through the Hot Mic podcast that Harrison Ford, that's credibility right there, Hot Mic podcast. Harrison Ford is finally making his jump to Marvel. He'll be taking on the role of Thunderbolt Ross and will be starring in The Thunderbolts. Thunderbolt Ross was originally portrayed by William Hurt in the Incredible Hulk movie, and then I believe later in a stinger for... Was it in Iron Man? He was in the Iron Man stinger, and then he reprised the role for Captain America: Civil War, maybe a couple of others. He was like a hologram in the Civil War movie. I don't know. Do we want to see Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross? Can you imagine Harrison Ford with a mustache like that? Maybe. I don't know.
Who? What? Who?
Harrison Ford, Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. Is he? I thought it was.
I mean, that's the thing. So, why would they do this?
Is he officially replacing Thunderbolt Ross?
I mean, that's according to Giant Freaking Robot, which is legitimate news. It got the story from Hot Mic podcast. I don't know if that's legitimate news.
Okay, so the only reason I could see them doing this to bring back this character, Thunderbolt Ross, what's the only reason, JJ? What's the only reason?
There's...
They would
first of all,
Thunderbolt Ross.
There's one reason to bring back Thunderbolt Ross, and there's no reason to bring it back as Harrison Ford.
Right.
The one reason is to have a different Hulk available for your for your movies.
Yep.
Because Thunderbolt Ross is
The red.
in at least circa 2008 and after became the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
And it was cool in the comic because he would be actually the Thunderbolt Ross version didn't have a mustache. There was another version of Red Hulk later that would roll around with a mustache.
So now that would give us 3 different, well, with She-Hulk, I guess it would be 4 different Hulks if he got in there. And if this is true, I predict Harrison Ford would be not so much a cameo, but he wouldn't have a main part. You know, he's going to have his part, and then the rest of it's going to be the Red Hulk, and then we're going to see the Red Hulk for the rest of the time.
Right. And the Red Hulk is going to have like some Harrison Ford likeness, and then they will use AI to, replace him in the future, and we will always have Harrison Ford Red Hulk. Yeah. By the way, I don't want this. Harrison Ford, even in the cameos, Harrison Ford's like 80 years old, dude.
Yeah. I love Harrison.
If you're 80 years old and you're still an active general, you messed up in your life.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
You should be retired.
Yeah, I love Harrison Ford. I think he's wonderful in almost everything that he touches, but not this. I don't want this.
All right, let me see. I got 2 more Star Wars things I want to talk about. And Deacon is off on the radio again. That's okay. This one's Deacon's story from the other day.
Wow.
I thought maybe he would have some.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks actor Ahmed Best to recount Star Wars experience in a one-man show. Yeah, Misa thinks that this is gonna be good, right?
Honestly, think about this logically. This probably is going to be really good because this man, Ahmed Best. Think about this, man. Just think about this right now, JJ. You're an up and coming actor, okay? You're a voice guy. You even dabbled in puppeteering, with Jim Henson-esque puppets and stuff. This is what you're interested in, and you get a part in they're redoing Star Wars. From the first 3 movies, they're making 3 new ones. In the early 90s, that was the biggest news ever in the 90s that they were making the new Star Wars. So you're this actor.
Yeah, no, it was huge.
You're this actor, and you've been told that you have this part, that you've got to have this voice, this crazy accent. It's going to be with these computers. You've got to wear this crazy thing on your head while you're filming and act and do it with all these people. Liam Neeson's one of the fucking people you're going to be acting with.
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor really wasn't huge at the time, but he was... he was kind of up and coming with Train Spotting and shit. But so Ahmed Best, man, this is his break. This is his break. He's freaking jarred this character that's basically the comedic C-3PO of this trilogy, of this movie.
I'm going to get all the funny lines in the movie. I'm going to get all the jokes.
And then we met for the first time in history a fanboy. And we met these fucking incel fanboys. That had nothing to do but pick apart every fucking thing that anybody does, and they still do it today. That's why it drives me crazy when somebody has negative shit to say about everything, that they can't say anything positive about anything. So this freaking movie, everybody gave him shit. Everybody still gives Jar Jar Binks and Ahmed Best shit for that part in this movie. They say that it was the worst thing about that movie. And these people, if you say that Jar Jar Binks is the worst thing about Star Wars movies, you're an idiot that didn't watch the Star Wars movies. You are missing vital points.
Then I have to challenge, what is the worst part of the Star Wars movies?
I don't know what the worst part of the Star Wars movies are, but Jar Jar Binks played a very vital role in not only the first movie, but the second movie and the third movies. I don't know about the third movie, but the second movie as well. He was a vital role in those movies. Without him, certain things, and people have said, if you took Jar Jar Binks out in the first movie, nothing would have changed. Bullshit. You're not watching the movie. Anyway, we could argue Jar Jar Binks till I'm a Jar Jar Binks fan. I don't think he's the greatest thing in the world, but I think he served his purpose in the movie, and I don't think he should get that everybody.
I mean, I will give you that he had a element in the plot structure. My problem with the prequel movies is that the plot was not good.
I agree.
The overall feeling of watching any one of those movies was like, it was just not good compared to any of the prior movies. Because you go back and you watch the original movies, and every one of them, you're like, this is you come out of it with like these amazing kind of feelings. And then the prequels, I didn't, and that's what I kind of like. I was just like,
I've watched the prequels several times, but I mean, they're not my favorite.
I mean,
but
I think I've seen Phantom Menace a couple times. I honestly don't remember anything that happened in the second one, and then there's the third one.
Yeah, that's where they get.
Yeah,
the Attack of the Clones.
I mean, like
pretty good, but I like that whole story about finding out about Sifo-Dyas and all that stuff. But Ahmed Best, Ahmed Best, the actor, got a bunch of shit that he shouldn't have got, man. And
I don't blame him for that character. That character is obviously the composition of a whole lot of visual effects and.
Everybody
he was doing his job. I don't blame this dude. Now, the only way that a one-man show about his Star Wars experience, the only way that that's even a remotely compelling story to listen to is if Ahmed Best is basically dishing on like it wasn't a good experience or the aftermath wasn't a good experience.
I'm maybe that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, right. So
anyway, it turns out to be, it was a wonderful time. The end. That's going to be like, well, fuck you, Jar Binks. You are a dumbass. But no, I'm sure it's probably pretty bad. That the actor Jake Lloyd, the little kid that played Anakin, got doxxed so hard. He's not even acting. He's not even an actor anymore. He was done.
Right.
Done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not that happens a lot with especially successful or people that take off. I mean, I don't blame him. Get out of Hollywood. It's a disgusting place, right?
Right. But I mean, I've always defended Jar Jar Binks for a long time, and I've defended him from everybody because that's everybody. Sheep naturally just repeat. They're people are parrots. They just repeat what they say. Jar Jar sucked. Yeah, he's the worst. Well, all they do all the time. They don't. People.
I don't have anything bad to say about Ahmed Best. I honestly don't really know what he's done besides Star Wars, so I really don't know anything other than that. So I do say right here, I will point this out, that Best went on to recount his subsequent battle with depression. He was just broken. The only thing that I could think to make me feel better was to walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. But this time when I walked across the bridge, I didn't see the lights of Manhattan. I didn't see the towers. I didn't see the potential of hard work and ingenuity. I didn't see anything. I just saw fog. So, when you pour yourself into something creative and then it's like rejected.
Yeah. He poured universally and thought that it was the greatest thing in the world, the pinnacle of his career, his big break. And then people crap on him the whole damn time and tell him it's the worst thing in the world and make fun of him.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, that's kind of a thing going on. Stop. All right. Well, then you can go in the other room. Go on.
We're protecting her from Ruby.
Oh, was I?
I'm trying to get dressed.
No, she was grabbing stuff. Okay. All right. So I got something else, Star Wars related. Let's see if you even remember this exists. Okay. Do you want to guess? I
used to play Star Wars Trivial Pursuit for fun, so I'm probably
it's way more recent, and I think you've forgotten because I forgot.
Okay.
New report suggests audiences don't care about Andor.
I've been watching it.
Oh, you have?
Someone told me. Oh, it was the English guy that I met. My Ashley's friend's husband from England. That we became besties at the reunion the other night because they were all running around. Me and him sitting there at the table, and we started talking about geeky shit, and we became geek friends. We talked about Andor, and that's exactly what he said. He said. I said, I just started slow and I've just yawn fest and I haven't watched any of it. And he was like, oh no, it's wonderful. You have to watch it. It's great. It's the best.
Really?
I love it. It's the best. It's the best thing yet. And I was like, for real? And then he talked about it a little bit. I was like, don't spoil it. I'll watch it. was like, I will,
Okay.
I will. So it was yesterday or the day before. It was yesterday or the day before? It might have been yesterday. I was on my phone and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start Andor all over again because I don't even remember where I'm at. What the fuck's going
Right.
on.
That's not
You
a
know,
good sign.
I was
no.
on like the 3rd or 4th episode and it started and it was like, here's a recap and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't
And you're like,
know why he's
what?
selling this part to this chick. So I'm going to start all over.
Okay, all right. So you had to do a do-over.
Yeah, I'm rewatching from a recommendation that it was great.
All right. How far in are you?
I'm watched like he hasn't even killed the people yet in the rewatch.
Oh, that's like the first 10 minutes?
That's like the first 10 minutes, yeah.
Okay, so you haven't rewatched it.
No, I haven't.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying that when I watched the first 3 and then I watched the first one, and I was like, no, okay, it's a little slow. And then I watched the second 2, except I watched them with my phone, and I couldn't pay attention. And like I was doing something and it was going, I was like, I just don't even care. I was probably drawing stuff for this show. So apparently. Now, I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying man, that's not a good sign. For diehard Star Wars fans, Andor is a dream come true. It's beautiful. It has writing beyond practically every Star Wars project. It boasts a bevy of excellent performances. It has humans. I like the humans. I don't really like the aliens, especially the CGI aliens. I like the humans.
Why? I know
because it's not that they're aliens. It's the over reliance on CGI. It's fuck.
I don't like reliance on CGI. You're making a goddamn TV show about the galaxy with thousands.
I want monsters that are made of rubber and glue. Okay, that's what I want.
You can have a couple of monsters in rubber and glue, but we're in 2022. We have the technology to not.
Had a baby and wants to know where babies come from, and
we're not having any more babies. No more babies. Mom will tell you why.
No, it's 2022. As much as I love Rick Baker and monster movies and stuff like that, we shouldn't have to rely on all that rubber face anymore. I love
that stuff. That's what I like. I like it when it's real and it's like, oh, I can see the seam.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't like that. We live in 2022. Right. We can make awesomer aliens now. And in the Star Wars universe,
too close.
And in the Star Wars universe, there are a majority of the people I believe are human, but I don't want to see humans all the time. It's stupid. You walk into a place and you're going to see different races. You have to be there.
Look, I'm not saying I'm ride or die humans only. I'm saying I just don't like the cartoon. It's
like the Boba Fett thing when he's going through the town and there's all the humans with different hairs and stuff like that. I'm like, put a freaking Twi'lek in there or something. God.
All right, we got 12 minutes. I'm gonna hit a couple pretty quick here. I saw this story. We're now what do you call it? Segueing. Okay, this is the best segue ever. We're going to segue now. I'm going to hit a couple of stories real quick and see if any of these things are of interest to you. I saw this story on Breitbart yesterday. ABC News producer missing since FBI raided his home. Huh? That's a little strange. This guy right here. Okay, look at his stylish glasses. Looks like he's from New York. ABC News reporter and investigative journalist James Gordon, not James Corden. James Gordon Meek, he fell off the face of the earth and hasn't been seen by neighbors or colleagues since the FBI raided his home in April. The FBI, the Rolling Stone reported. FBI told Rolling Stone the agents were presented in April, I don't know, some sort of activity, and the FBI won't comment. One of Meek's neighbors told the Rolling Stone he fell off the face of the earth, and people are asked, but no one will answer. ABC News told Rolling Stone that Meek resigned very abruptly and hasn't worked for them in months. He was slated to release a book for Simon & Schuster that tells the story of a retired Green Beret who helped evacuate 500 Afghans during Joe Biden's Afghanistan withdrawal / retreat / total debacle. However, Meek's name and photo have been pulled from the book and all press materials since the FBI raid. Now, this dude, Meek, this journalist, he's a journalist. He's broken some big stories regarding government corruption, high-profile stories about national security and terrorism. the FBI apparently was saying that, searching this journalist, saying that he had sensitive documents. You heard that one before. And now I guess they're after him, and this dude's gone hiding, because I think he doesn't trust the government. I don't know what's going on here, but this is super interesting and worth paying attention to, because normally people get investigated and then they get charged, or then they're like, oh, they're putting a statement out. You never see that they just disappear. Not just a dude that was like, running around and, a normal guy, a journalist on major media, encounters FBI and then disappears. That's not normal. So something's going on here. I don't know. You got any thoughts on that?
No, but I mean, yeah, the FBI could have grabbed him, or he could be in hiding, or
I think he's in hiding.
I think
he's in hiding because he probably knows stuff about the government, and they're probably like threatening him. And he's like, I mean, I don't know, some really strange kind of turn of events. All right.
If he was in hiding, I think the report would be more negative. It would.
You think so?
Yeah. Honestly, if he were like hiding, I think this report would be like, this fucking guy did this bullshit.
Well,
it's bullshit, and this is why he's hiding. Kind of like Snowden. When Snowden first went into hiding, and we were first told all about that, he was the most vicious, evil American ever, wasn't he? That's what
right.
we were told. We were told.
I mean, yeah, sure.
And we're still told.
He's a Russian now. He has Russian citizenship now.
He is, I mean, you can think what you want about Snowden. I think what I want about Snowden. I think he's a fucking hero.
Well, yeah. Dishing on the government spying on Americans. Yeah, that's heroic. Yeah. Having to run to and look, he's probably not wrong leaving the country, because he probably was going to be like buried in a cell somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, you're not going to get a fair trial. You think you're going to get a fair trial? This week we heard that Dushenko, who is the source of the bogus Steele dossier, was put on trial in D.C. For lying to the FBI, because the Steele dossier is fake, and the Russia thing, fake, all hoax. None of it's real. It was all fake information. Dushenko made it up, and then when charged for lying to the FBI, a jury in D.C. said, "Oh, not guilty, acquitted." Yeah, you're not getting a fair trial in the United States of America if you're in any way related to government, politics, anything like that. So Snowden. Yeah, of course. You come to America, get a trial, and, it doesn't matter what you did, you're definitely going to get convicted. So, I don't blame Snowden for leaving the country. The getting Russian citizenship probably is advantageous for him, but it doesn't really look good. And this dude right here, if the FBI's after him for having secrets, yeah, he might be in trouble too. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. And you know what? America, we're not always the good guys. So I mean, I don't really blame him. Okay, you posted this in the chat, Deacon. COVID. If you had COVID, several of your organs could be aging.
This. If fucking 5 minutes left in the show, and you need to talk about this, we'll get fucking copy.
All right.
Well, now, honestly, you can just read the fucking headline right there.
Yeah.
Read the headline.
I haven't had COVID. I don't think you've had COVID.
All right. So you just read the headline, and you can look it up for yourself if you're interested. But that's a story that I came across yesterday, and if you're interested, you can look it up. But if you've had COVID, I would probably look that up if you've had COVID, just to be curious. But that's just me.
Yeah,
I'm just a curious person,
for sure.
So whatever. I don't think we should talk about it though.
Probably not. Okay. Hey, Nancy Pelosi. Oh, let me do this. I know you love Nancy Pelosi. So here we go. The title of the show is Paul Pelosi's totally legit $5 million stock call. This video came out recently from the January 6th thing, and then I have the Paul Pelosi story.
I am so fucking sick of hearing about January 6th. Can you fucking Democrats please find something else to fucking bitch about, please? Will you please find something else? Okay,
they have
Jesus Christ. Can you beat a dead horse? Can you?
Nobody in America cares at all,
No
and they
one
think it's
cares.
like 9/11 bigger than 9/11. They think it's like
Jesus Christ.
they think a bunch of grandmas and grandpas with no weapons tried to overtake the United States government. They're retarded.
People walking through the fucking corridor lines were rioting. You fucking idiots. Quit
Here's the
being
Democrats'
brain dead.
modern insurrection, taking selfies with cops.
Quit
Oh,
fucking being told what to think. You're being told what to think. And you don't care as long as your battery still works.
Oh, man. Oh, my God.
We live in a fucking monkey world.
Woof. Here we go. All right. Here we go. This video clip came out. This video clip came out.
Enrages me. I can't believe this woman still walks the earth. She's proof that we have the ability to keep fucking corpses alive. With enough money, you can live forever because Nancy fucking Undead Pelosi is proof.
Tell us how you really feel, Deacon.
I just hate looking at her face, and then you right over her face, you see JAN6.
They told him they don't have the resources to protect him here. So at the moment, he is not coming, but that could change. Oh, he comes, I'm going to punch him out. 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 I would pay the theater. I'm waiting for this. I would pay the theater. I'm waiting for this. I would pay the theater. I'm waiting for this. Waiting for this. Waiting for this. I'm going to punch him out and I'm going to go to jail and I'm going to be happy.
Good.
Be happy. Punch him out and be happy. Go to jail and be happy.
Doesn't she look like when they open a fucking
punch him out.
Crypt? Don't they look like you're like, oh, here's the mummy's face with the skin that's stretched over it. She's had so much plastic surgery.
Yeah.
There's no more. I'm sure her plastic surgeon is like, Nancy, there's no more fucking skin to pull. All right. It's going to start ripping.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I don't understand that she's proof that as long as you have money, you can get away with any fucking thing you want. Her, Hillary, Mitch McConnell, they're all proof that you can get away with whatever the fuck you want. And if us as Americans bitch about it, like Paul Pelosi and all these doing these stocks stuff and all this crap, they don't care. They don't care. They laugh in our goddamn faces. All right.
Yeah, they do.
We have problems. We have legitimate fucking concerns. And this fucking bitch laughs in our face. And
so that video
elected for how many fucking years?
That video was obviously a little remix fun. It was taken from a video clip that her daughter recorded on January 6th, of Nancy Pelosi stating that she was waiting for the riot. She was waiting for it to happen. She's the one that didn't allow the House Sergeant at Arms, who was since fired, didn't allow him to call in additional security, didn't allow the National Guard to be deployed, didn't basically set the conditions for a protest to turn into a riot. So she's over there saying she wants to punch the president in the face. So why Nancy Pelosi,
why did they have the film crew follow
Jordan?
her?
Oh yeah, right. Well, that was her daughter, and other than that, I don't know why Nancy Pelosi had a film crew following her on January 6th. I don't know, but I think Nancy Pelosi had some knowledge that things were gonna go awry and had every intention of maximizing it to her benefit. That is, allowing the protest to turn into a little bit of a riot.
Letting them open the fucking gates, open the doors for people and shit.
She said right there in that clip, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this.
I've been waiting for this.
All right. So, just in case you think that, there are no criminals in government, this is cool. I mean, Paul Pelosi, that's Nancy Pelosi's husband, he's exercising up to $5 million in Google call options. That is, sell the stock options that you have ahead of the stock ban bill being unveiled. That's super fortunate and lucky for him.
Well, that is.
I don't know how
that he knows.
That's super lucky.
Yeah,
super lucky.
He knows shit's going to happen, so he sells stocks or buys stocks in order to make money. I didn't think you should be able to do that.
Right. So the Speaker of the House, that's Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House.
It's this shit like this that we should be marching with goddamn pitchforks and torches. The motherfuckers shouldn't be able to do this.
Up here. Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, ultimately did not put the legislation up for a vote before the House recess.
She should be
the House is recessed for like a month while there's elections, so that all the candidates can go to their district and get reelected and gin up support. So we just didn't quite have enough time to get the stock ban bill up to the House floor to prevent lawmakers from cashing in on their advanced knowledge of things. And, since that's going to happen, Nancy Pelosi's husband, luckily for him, happened to exercise this call for $5 million. So good on him. That's going to help him, pay the fines that he has for drunk driving and some other stuff. So, all right, guys, that is that. I'm going to say that's our zombie news segment of the day. Yeah, I'm pretty good there. Oof, boy, did I think, guys, audience, listen. I think that you're directly responsible for Deacon in future stress related heart conditions. You guys,
I don't give two shits. There's nothing you can do about it.
No. Oh,
I can.
All right, hey,
get mad, and I mean, there's nothing I can do. About it.
No, you know what? There is something we can do about it, Deacon. We are making a difference. I know it seems small. It's small now. This is gonna people latch on. We're like a little piece of sand rolling down a hill, and we're gonna get sticky. Then there's some spit in there, a little bit of rain. What we're gonna do? Our little mud ball is gonna get bigger, and we're gonna have influence. And someday, people are gonna be like, "Those two dads." People are gonna listen to them. You don't think so? That's all right.
I'm glad you're positive.
I believe
one of us needs to.
I'm gonna imagine it into reality. So let's see. We had like a bunch of chat. Jordan is back. Haven't seen Jordan in a while. Mr. E, Jeremy, Wobbly Bits over on Rumble. Thank you guys for chatting and everything. Jordan is right. The J6 insurrection was like weak. You guys didn't even hardly try. Next time you January 6th guys try to insurrect the government, I don't know, bring a stick. Yeah, like try a little harder.
Shit.
That was just weak sauce.
Next time you're going to insurrect, let's fucking, maybe plan a little bit.
Although I will always have big love for Buffalo Horns guy. That guy. Yeah, I mean, I know he pussed out and pleaded guilty or whatever, but like
they were plants, and the rest
Buffalo
of the people
Horn.
that got put in prison and shit over this for years were people that fucking were going with the flow because those people were inciting them. You can incite certain people. Certain people in the population are very easy to fucking, I call it brainwashing. You can brainwash them very easy. People are.
I'm right here. I am. I'll do it. I'll believe it, whatever it is.
No, that's not what I mean. People are very easily brainwashed. We used to play pranks on my radio station, my top 40 radio station, just to see if little brainwashing tricks, just to see if we could trick the listeners into doing what we wanted them to do. And it worked every time.
Can you, well, let's try to play one of those tricks right now on our way out. I'm just going to try to trick you guys into going to rumble.com/JJW. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe. And if you haven't already, there's a link on the page. The link, right above you right here.
You have the arrow here.
And then right underneath this video in the description, there's a link to jjw.locals.com where you can join up, become a member for free.
And go out on a date with Jay.
Isn't
that what Locals is?
You can get...
You go on a date?
No, it's not a date. It's more like just a community. Deacon, you actually haven't even joined yet. I'll make you an admin, but that's where I'm putting the links to this story. So, except I just closed them all, so I'm gonna have to go find them again. I'm gonna put the links to the stories in the show notes on locals.com. All right, guys, I'll see you on Discord. Come chat with us during the day. And I don't know, we're doing other stuff to build dad culture and maybe give me some ideas. Hey, I want to talk about zombies. We got to figure out how to do zombies. We got to do zombie movies or something because there's a zombie movie I really want to talk about, and I don't have an excuse. So maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. I don't know.
Yeah, it's coming up.
You got a zombie movie you like? Maybe we'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
No?
I already named my favorite zombie movie.
Yeah.
First week, 28 Days Later.
That is a good movie. That is a really good zombie movie. But I think maybe there's a better one. So maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. All right. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And here we go with the beautiful outro. Bye. When I say outro, I don't mean intro. I mean outro.